Welcome to Dashing Dish. Today some of my girlfriends are coming over. We're going to have a Bible study, have a ton of conversation and fun, and of course, eat. Hosting can be intimidating, but I'm also going to make girls' night easy and fun as Jessica and Dana join me in the kitchen and we make marinated chicken skewers with a delicious clean-eating peanut dipping sauce, skinny, cheesy spinach dip cups, and a light, fresh Mediterranean quinoa salad. And of course, it wouldn't be girls' night without a refreshing drink. We're gonna make a light and bubbly, sparkling cranberry punch to finish off the night. There's nothing that I love more than taking some time out to be with just friends. It's a girls' night. Come join us. So my girlfriends will be joining me soon here in the kitchen to help get things started. But I'm already starting on a nice fun appetizer, which is my grilled marinated chicken with a peanut dipping sauce. So I just started grilling my chicken and I'm gonna show you how I made the marinade. To start, I prepared the marinade for the chicken. To a large bowl, I combined 2 tablespoons soy sauce, 2 tablespoons honey, 1 tablespoon lime juice, and 1 tablespoon minced garlic. I whisked everything to combine. Next, I added 1 pound of chicken tenders to the marinade and sealed the bowl and placed it in the fridge. I like to let the chicken marinate for at least 30 minutes or up to 4 hours to let the chicken absorb the flavors of the marinade. Thread each chicken tender onto a wooden skewer. Grill the chicken skewers until they're cooked through on the first side about 3 to 4 minutes. Then flip and cook an additional 3 to 4 minutes on the other side. In the last minute of cooking, I drizzled the chicken with lime juice and soy sauce to bring out the flavors. So now I'm going to make the peanut dipping sauce to go along with these chicken tenders. They look perfect, they're totally grilled through, and this sauce is super simple and it's absolutely delicious, not only as a dipping sauce, but you could make this as a dressing as well. So I like to make it from Asian style dressings. So we have a 1/4 cup of any kind of nut butter that you like. I did a peanut butter that's creamy and organic. Then I'm gonna do about 2 tablespoons of honey. 1/4 cup of soy sauce. And you'll notice that a lot of these flavors that I'm doing in the peanut dipping sauce are also in the chicken, so they pair perfectly together. Just 2 teaspoons of lime juice, and you can use a fresh lime. It would be about the juice of 1 lime. 3 tablespoons of almond milk, and 1 teaspoon of sweetener of choice. Then I'm just gonna kind of work this a little bit to get it mixed together before I start whisking. If you do have a thinner peanut butter, then it will be easier to start whisking. So you could always microwave it for about 30 seconds to break down that peanut butter. A lot of times people ask me in my recipes as well if they can swap out peanut butter and almond butter for peanut flour. And in this recipe you certainly could. It would be absolutely delicious. You might need to add a little bit more or less almond milk just to make it thin according to what you'd like. And that really goes with any dressing. Anytime you're making a homemade dressing, if you alter just a little bit of the liquid, you can make it a little more thin or thick depending on what you desire. So I'm just gonna finish mixing this up and my friends will be here soon to join me in the kitchen and we'll start making some great snacks for our Bible study. Growing up, I was the kind of girl that always had 1, maybe 2 close friends. I was more on the quiet side, which made it difficult to go out of my comfort zone and establish new relationships. It wasn't until I was in college that I started to realize that I not only wanted, but I needed other godly women in my life to thrive. And I knew that God was calling me to step outside my comfort zone and be a friend to others. At first, I prayed, asking God to connect me with godly friends. And although He was faithful to bring people into my life, I realized that it was going to take work to grow and develop these relationships. I remember God calling me to start a Bible study and invite all the women that He had brought into my life. I was reluctant at first, knowing that I was in one of the busiest seasons of my life as I was commuting to and from nursing school, attending clinicals, and working a part-time job. Not to mention, it was the dead of winter. Yet, I also knew there wasn't anything that God asked me to do that wasn't tied to His tremendous blessings, even when it seemed difficult. So I started the Bible study, which met at a local coffee shop, and it started off with just a few friends. It didn't take long for the word to spread, and before we knew it, our small study grew so big that we transitioned it into people's homes and apartments. It was such an incredible time of growth, fellowship, and memories. Some filled with deep moments of prayer and tears, and others filled with being silly and laughter. These days, our Bible studies are still going strong, and we even have the same people that attended over 10 years later. So my good friend Jess just got here, and she's going to be joining us for our Bible study tonight, and I'm really excited. We're going to make a Mediterranean quinoa salad.
Ooh,
so I know that you love salad, pretty much our whole group of friends. When I was thinking, what should I make for our food today? I thought salad and chicken. We love grilled chicken and we love our salads. In fact, usually I make a big salad bar whenever we have some kind of gathering or a special occasion. So it's really simple to make. I just boiled 1 cup of dry quinoa, but you could use any kind of grain or rice that you like, and it's just in 2 cups of water until it's nice and fluffy like you see here, kind of like a cooked rice. And then I just put it in a big bowl, and then we're just gonna chop some veggies, add it to the bowl, and I'm gonna make the dressing. So I'll just have you chop up a cucumber, tomatoes, roasted red bell pepper, which are really good in this salad. It adds a lot of flavor. Olives, chickpeas. Do you like chickpeas?
I do.
Me too.
Yeah.
And they add protein and really good nutrition. And then some parsley.
Perfect.
So you can go ahead and chop, add to the bowl, and it'll be good to go. For the dressing, it's really simple as well. And this is one of my favorite dressings to add to any kind of salad. Really, you don't even have to buy a salad dressing. You can just make your own with a few simple ingredients. I have avocado oil here. So we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of avocado oil. And really, there's no rhyme or reason to how you cut. It's really just how you'd like them in a salad. So, you know, however you think that sounds good to be in a salad.
Sure.
And then 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, but you could do white wine. You can do any kind of vinegar you like. So anytime I'm doing a salad dressing, I just think half of it should be oil and half should be vinegar. And usually you're gonna have really good flavor with that ratio, half and half. Then 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And this is just to taste. You could add more or less depending on what you like. 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, and this is gonna be really delicious and give a good flavor to the salad. I'm just gonna cut a lemon in half, and I'm gonna squeeze it in, but if you wanted to, you could also just do the bottled lemon juice, and you could do about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And what I like to do is I like to add it to a mason jar, so that way it's just easy. I can shake it up and pour it over the salad. Another good thing about doing it in a mason jar is if you have leftovers, you can store it for later. Or this is a great prep ahead salad. So a lot of times when you guys come over, I think, what can I make ahead that won't get wilted and soggy? And the quinoa is a really good substitute for lettuce because it lasts in your fridge. And then the great thing is I can make it the day before and then just enjoy the day with you guys and not be in the kitchen the whole day.
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right, so I'm gonna give this a shake, and that's looking really good, Jess. So I have to ask you, how long ago has it been since we met? A few years, right?
Yeah.
And we ultimately met through a girls' Bible study, I think. And so what do you feel is the most special thing about just getting away and doing this as friends?
Well, you know, as a mom and a mom of 2 small children, it's really hard to get time away for yourself. So for me, it's just getting away with other women who are like-minded and who really prioritize the Lord and have the same values as I do. It's just so refreshing to go back home and be with my kids all day after I've refreshed myself with friends.
It's true. And what's so awesome is that most of our friends all have kids the same age. And so when we're all together, we can really relate and we can kind of bounce back ideas back and forth. So how did you do potty training? How, how did you get around this hump with a little kid? And there's just so much that we can talk about, but more than anything, encourage each other in the Lord. And
exactly.
there's just nothing better than that. And sometimes, to be honest, it can be really easy to just stay at home, right? And just say, you know what, I'm just staying at home in my sweatpants and my kids are grabbing at my legs. I'm not leaving the house. But getting together purposefully, it makes us a better mom when we come back to our kids. So even though sometimes it's not always easy to leave the house, it's better to do so. So I'll just add the olives. So I have olives here, and these are just the pre-chopped olives, just in the can that I drained. And then we're gonna add garbanzo beans or chickpeas. So those are absolutely one of my favorite ingredients to add to a salad because it gives almost like a nice crunch and flavor to the salad. And then we'll just toss this all together. I did add some feta as well, so a half cup of feta. And feta cheese is really salty, so it'll add a lot of flavor. So this bowl might be slightly overflowing here, but that's okay. It's just us girls, so.
Yes.
And you can just tear that parsley off and you can just sprinkle some in. Fresh parsley, have you ever used it in a
I have
recipe?
not cooked with fresh parsley.
So a lot of times I don't even have fresh herbs on hand because it's just easier to buy dry spices and dried herbs because they don't go bad. But this is one recipe that I find fresh herbs is really, really delicious and almost kind of important. You know how sometimes it's like, oh, you really need to get the fresh stuff for this recipe. So the fresh parsley goes a long way. So now that I tossed it together just a little bit, I'll add the dressing since we are gonna eat this salad pretty soon. If, say you made it the day before, you can wait and just pour it over right before guests come. So we'll finish tossing this together and I think Dana and Emily will be here soon and we can finish cooking and making some food for our gathering.
Sounds good.
When it comes to making food for a girls' night, I like to serve something that can easily be picked up and eaten with your hands, which is also known as finger foods. Finger foods make it easy to walk around and enjoy conversation with friends, with just a small plate in hand. The menu doesn't have to be complicated, it can be so simple, such as veggies, a dip, or a few simple ingredients popped on a skewer. You really can't go wrong as long as it's something you can enjoy with simplicity. Coming up next, it's a girls' night in and I can't wait to catch up with my friends. I still need to put the finishing touches on the menu with a unique spin on a finger-friendly appetizer. Creamy, cheesy spinach dip cups, and we'll mix up a sparkling cranberry punch, a perfect blend of tart and sweet. Tonight is a girls' night and it's all about refreshing ourselves body, spirit, and soul. And of course, the most important part is the food. So we're making some really easy finger-friendly foods that you can walk around, carry, talk, because of course that's what girls do, is we just walk around and eat and talk. So we're making a dip that is easy to carry around because it's in its own little cup. And we're making the cups with wonton wrappers. And so these are wonderful when you're doing anything that you want to have in a little cup, and it's easy to make and they look really pretty. So Dana, I'll have you add the wonton wrappers to the muffin tin, and we just sprayed a 12-cup muffin tin, and I'll just have you put 2 in each. Then I'm gonna make the filling for these dip cups, and it's 1 small onion and 1 tablespoon of garlic. Do you mind handing me that spatula there? Thank you. And I'm just gonna cook these in a pan over medium heat, just to kind of brown them through a little bit because a raw onion is not incredibly delicious or appealing. So you just wanna cook the onions through just a little bit so that they get tender and the flavors come out, and do that alongside the garlic. I love garlic. Cook that. Doesn't it smell good already? Yes. Garlic is, you can't go wrong with garlic.
Not.
And onions if they're cooked together. Then I have 1 10-ounce package of spinach that I have just simply thawed and squeezed dry. Now, if you don't squeeze it dry, that's okay too. You can just kind of cook it through in the pan, and all of that moisture will be cooked through as you cook it. So we're gonna add that to the onions. And that already looks good, smells good.
Yes.
So Dana, we've been friends for, gosh, I've been married for 10 years, and we met. She was actually taking pictures at was it my engagement party or my
bridal shower? Bridal shower.
Yes. And so that's where we met. And then we kind of progressed as friends through the years by doing whoops, we lost an onion. Through doing a Bible study together.
Yeah.
And just joining together. We were in your apartment when we
feels
started.
like a lifetime ago.
A coffee shop, and then our Bible studies now, since we've had kids and gotten married, have came to our homes. And gosh, we've met a lot of people just through you because you're a photographer, so she seems to know the world, and invited all these incredible women over the years, and God's done some really cool things through our studies, hasn't he?
I think it's amazing to see the things we believed for even 11, 12 years ago that have been brought about now. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just so cool to see the way God's worked through our friendship.
It's true.
Dashing Dish was born.
Yeah, it's
all
true. So now I'm gonna add, because the onions and the spinach are cooked through and all that moisture is cooked off of the spinach, I'm gonna add 1/2 cup of cottage cheese, 1/2 cup of Greek yogurt, and you can add it just to the pan here. It just makes it easy, less dishes to do later. 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, and I turn the heat off, so that's important to note. And then 1/4 cup of feta cheese. I'm just gonna kind of crumble it in here. Do you like feta cheese?
I love feta cheese.
It adds so much flavor to this spinach dip.
So good.
So then I'm gonna kind of mix this together. And those are looking great. So Dana, I'll have you spray those with cooking spray.
Okay.
And what that does is when you cook them in the oven, it just helps them get golden brown.
Okay, sounds good.
And you'll just stir this together, and look at how good that filling looks. Cheesy, creamy, delicious. So then whenever you're baking a filling like this, it's important to add an egg, and what that does is it kind of binds the filling together. So we're gonna add 1 egg just so that it holds together nicely in our cups.
Okay.
And how do you think our friendship and relationship has kind of changed over the years, especially as becoming moms?
New moms, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of it has just been adapting to our friendship and just really having grace with each other in the seasons that we're in, knowing that we are juggling so many things, but God is the kind of the glue, at least for me, that holds me together.
Yeah.
And you've always been that for me too, like just encouraging me in the Lord, and I think
sometimes it can even go, weeks, days, months where it feels like we've connected.
Absolutely.
But that's why we try and be purposeful.
Yeah.
I mean, really, we try to purposefully get together at least once a month, no matter what.
Yeah.
So that we have that in the calendar and that we do actually get out of the house.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna start by filling these up. An ice cream scoop is perfect to do this because that way we know that we have the same amount in each cup and it fills them perfectly. And then we're gonna bake these in the oven, 375 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes until they're cooked through in the filling and the wonton wrappers are golden brown. And then we're gonna make a sparkly fun drink to have that's
I
baked.
love it.
So make sure you guys come back and we'll be enjoying all of our delicious finger foods together. If you're anything like me, it's easier to stay at home under a nice cozy blanket than it is to go out and do things I know will bring growth. This is especially true when you have young children, as just getting out of the house can be quite the ordeal. Despite my desire for comfort, the one thing I have learned is that it's always worth the effort to join with other believers. For it is there that I have personally witnessed some of the most powerful and life-changing moments. When it comes to church, Bible studies, and fellowship with other believers, the main idea is that we can grow so much deeper with God when we break out of our 4 walls and do life with each other. God created us to be in fellowship with others, and we were never meant to be in isolation. It's here, when we sit side by side and face to face, that we can let down our guard and open our hearts. When we come together purposefully and pursue relationships, we're able to pray, encourage, and truly do life together. So now I'm gonna get started on a refreshing, sparkling cranberry drink for our girls' night, and it's the perfect way to refresh on a night of refreshing. So all I have to start is just some frozen raspberries that I put into a jug or a pitcher. And really that just replaces the ice in this drink. It's pretty and it tastes delicious to have those little specks of raspberry. So it's a great way to do a girl's drink and make it more fun and pretty. Then to this I'm gonna add 3 cups of cranberry juice. So you just wanna do 100% cranberry juice. You don't wanna do, you know, the kind with the sweetener or the sugar. Whoops, and you wanna make sure you get it all in your pitcher there. And hey, if you do this ahead of time, you can be sure that you will not be wearing your cranberry juice. So you can make this ahead and just store it in your fridge until your friends get here. So 3 cups of cranberry juice, and then I'm gonna do a 1 liter bottle of just sparkling water. So you wanna make sure you don't get the sweetened kind or else this will be a little bit too sweet, but this is what makes your drink sparkly. And this is so simple. All your friends will think that you spent all this time making a special drink, and it's absolutely delicious and refreshing. And then we have 2/3 cup of any kind of sweetener you like. I did monk fruit sweetener. You could do a little bit of stevia or sugar in the raw, just enough to sweeten it up to taste. The cranberry juice is a little bit tart, and so is the lime juice that we're putting in, 1/4 cup of lime juice. So adding a little bit of sweetener helps balance out the tart. Then I'm just gonna give this a good stir. And you can always add more ice too. And then just serve it in some really pretty jars or glasses like I have here. Sometimes mason jars are more fun, but some really pretty glasses for a girls' night I think will work perfectly. I'm gonna go get the girls and serve this up along with our finger-friendly foods, and we're gonna get started on our girls' night and Bible study. Coming up next, the menu is complete and it's time to eat. Girls' night is the best when paired with great friends and food. Have you ever thought about hosting a girls' night or Bible study? You might be surprised how it encourages you to dig deeply into God's Word. In return, you end up being surprised at just how refreshed you are as you seek to pour into others. All right, ladies, how good does all of this look? I hope you're hungry.
Thank you.
So we made some spinach dip. Do you want to?
I'm going to pass it along.
Okay.
Thank you, love.
And then, Jessica, you can add a little bit of the peanut dipping sauce to go with the chicken.
Delicious.
And then you can also just scoop up some Mediterranean quinoa salad that you helped me make.
Perfect.
So I thought it'd be fun to kind of end our girls' night with something different. I'm gonna ask you guys some surprise questions and just answer your honest answer. It'll be really fun. If you could have, Dana, just one food every day of the week, what would it be?
Easy, French fries.
Oh, I knew you would say that. We don't have any fries here, but the good news is DashingDish.com has plenty of healthy French fries recipes just for you. So to make all of these beautiful finger-friendly foods for your next gathering, head over to DashingDish.com where you will find recipes and more to nourish your body and soul.